Today we're talking about old school skiff, 2001 Bay Waterman 16 tiller. It's really cool because it gets used all the time by the owner, Morgan Smith. He's a hardcore fly fisherman. He fishes Boca Grande and Placida pretty much all the time. You might see him out there. And we're going to do an overview of it and look at the inside of it and all the custom features on it. This is the Waterman. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your skiff, Morgan.
So this is my baby dream boat, 2001 Bay Waterman 16 tiller. It has been a staple in my fishing arsenal. Do a lot of fly fishing. It goes everywhere it needs to go and hasn't left me stranded. So starting off with the bow, we have obviously the casting platform, and it's got a 15-gallon fuel cell. So the reason that's so important is to me is I'm doing a lot of long runs. So I mean, I've run 120 miles in a day, round trip, and I'm getting about more than 13 miles per gallon, so I get good fuel economy.
So what's the furthest you've taken this from the Placida boat ramp?
From Placida, I've run to Fort Myers and back in
wow,
one day.
That's a long distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to take chop and no problem, right?
Yeah, so it is a 16-foot boat, so you limit it. But it's not, I've been out in some gnarly stuff. I've taken it offshore. I've gone to the Keys a bunch.
I see you got a bilge pump back there.
I do have a bilge pump.
So, yeah, you can turn that on and put it just about anywhere you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, realistically, how skinny will this thing get?
So,
Everybody always asks that question, like, how, you know, I hear people, well, my boat will go in like 4 inches of water or 3 inches of water. So, is that a realistic number for this?
So everyone likes to be a little optimistic. I've measured it without gear, with gear, and no people. It is 4, sitting still.
Sitting still. That's by itself alone in the water. It's a 2001, and we did verify that. We did verify online that Chris Moorjohn actually built this boat, right? So, actually, he said so himself. And how do you like this 30 horsepower Tohatsu?
It is extremely reliable, really quiet, and great fuel efficiency. I'm getting a great haul shot in miles per gallon.
What are you seeing miles like?
I'm seeing about 32, 33. That's light load and 1 or 2 anglers.
Okay.
And flat seas.
Wow.
With a little bit of chop though, I cruise usually 22, 25. That's where I'm seeing the best fuel economy.
Right.
And that's north of 13 miles per gallon. Full out is less than 10 or a little more than 10.
Yeah, I mean, she's scratched up, and there's a reason she's scratched up, right? I mean, why is that? Tell the viewers.
Sometimes you got to run skinny to get places. You don't want to get stuck.
But look at the cowling as well.
Yeah. So I do a lot of creek crawling. I like being the first one into a spot. There's something unique about that, where the fish have never seen anyone, and you know you're the only one. The wildlife's so much friendlier. So
you're
sometimes
just not scared to take this thing anywhere.
No.
So I see something odd on the polling platform. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this is fully removable. You can see the screws sticking out right now. So when I need to get skinny or there's a lot of trees in the way, I'll be able to take that off. It's held in by 8 Allen screws, and I can set it in the boat. So that way I can really go to some places that no one else is going.
So this thing is really purpose built for the style that you fish, which is super skinny and really remote. Like you like to get way back in the middle of nowhere. So that is super cool. So you've got some controls up here. Well, you got trim tabs.
Trim tab switches are going to be here, and then motor trim.
Right there. So you don't really have to look backwards or do anything odd. You just control them from right there.
And that's definitely a safety feature when you're running places and skinny.
So I like that it's still got rod storage on both sides versus, like, we're going to do an overhead shot and compare the my 18 Waterman with this 16 Waterman, and I got a side console, and the rod storage is a little bit like different. I mean, I would say it's not as good as having it on both sides, in my opinion. We'll do an overhead shot to compare the length of the two boats and, you know, the overall layouts as well.
Another unique feature I'm sure you're seeing is the polling platform. So it's definitely inspired by the Chittum one, and I love having this. It's a great place to lean against when I'm driving. Also, it's a step, obviously, to get up there, but it's a great place to hold a stripping bucket when I'm solo.
Okay, so you cast and fish and pole and do everything from up here on this platform.
A lot of the times it's so nice, everything, I don't have to leave this part of the boat. Push pulls right there, rods right here, stripping buckets around here. You just throw everything up, you're in a spot, you're ready to fish. No more than like a minute.
What, another question that a lot of people might ask or might want to know is, what does this thing weigh in realistic terms? Like, I think we were trying to look it up and we really couldn't find out exactly what the weight was on it. So
it's probably around 400 pounds. I know for a fact I can pick it up I can lift up the back of the boat by myself and move it around on the trailer. So, and I know with 2 people, I'm able to like lift the back up really easily. So I know it's probably pretty light.
So this is even one with the floor in it. They made another model, right, without the floor in it. It was kind of curved.
And it didn't have the gunnels.
Okay.
Which I think the gunnels are super important. Protects the rods, makes it, just gives you more fishable room because you can step on the sides if you're chasing a tarpon or fish.
Right, that's cool. And so another feature I'm seeing on here is you got this extra long push pole, and this is like one that I have never seen before. It's got this like metal point, and it has a really good feeling to it as well. And can you tell us a little bit about this and what the length is and who makes this one?
That's a Marquez Marine. They're a newer company. I came out of a stiffy guide. I broke the guide. The guide was a super reliable pole though. I did lose it on the highway. That probably had something to do with it. Nothing wrong with that, but this pole is just a little better in my opinion. Yeah, so it's going to be, so this is the Skinny Professional. I'm not sure if that's exactly the name, but I like the smaller foot. You might sink a little more in the mud, but you get a better release.
So what is it, about 24 feet?
It is 24.
It's kind of a long pole for this length of boat, or are you happy with it?
So I think it comes down to preference. I don't see why you'd run smaller than a 24 at this point. It looks a little goofy on the trailer because I have about 8 feet sticking out.
Right.
So other than that, the trailering, but I mean, on the water, I don't have issues losing it. I do a lot of creek crawling, and it's stayed like.
So somebody might ask, what are these circles here that we're seeing, and
so
what's going on here?
These are old Carbon Marine fly guides, the spikes.
So they're broken off from creek crawling, right?
Yeah.
From going in the jungle.
It's just not practical for my style. Yeah. I have their bucket. I think that's a better fit for me.
So people are going to say, well, Morgan, why didn't you peel these off and clean this all up and shine it and polish it with a polisher and all that other stuff?
It's just practicality.
Right.
This doesn't have non-skids, so sometimes when you're up here, it's nice to have these foams if I'm throwing an anchor or something.
Yeah.
It's just nice. And then when they come off, when they get worse and like an actual eyesore, I'll take care of them. But
and plus you don't really care, do you?
Yeah.
You just fish it every day, right? So it's not that big of a deal. And when they were there, I've seen these before. When they were there, they actually worked pretty good, right?
The one thing I will say is be careful if you have your boat on a cover. I have a cover. Florida gets really hot, and so if the cover's pressing against them, it'll make them curve.
Oh, okay.
And that is very annoying because the fly line will catch on the curve and then not release. So
yeah,
that's
the whole problem with with those types of things is they do catch the fly line, but then when you go to cast, it always seems like they catch the fly line,
especially when they're curved.
Right. So this is one of your storage bins back here in the back.
It's pretty big. That's where I keep all the tackle.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. For a tiller boat to have that much storage in it, especially accessible from the top. And that brings me to this other issue is in a tiller boat, you kind of almost need this. It's better to have this cut-in area than it is to have a flat
especially
deck.
Because when you're trimming up, I've seen let's say there was that cut, the motor's going to swing a lot more.
Sure.
If you just go below that, it's locked into here.
Sure.
And then it usually will sit here, and then now it's fully out of the water compared to.
And plus, you can stand back here, and if you needed to, you could sit on either side of this and steer it as well, right? So
I'll sit sometimes, but I like to sit up on the platform.
Mostly you're on the platform, right?
Yeah, mini tower is what I like to think of it as.
Sure. And then this side over here is going to be all your digitals and computer stuff, and I'm sure this thing's loaded down with computer technology. Let's take a look in here.
So it's got some of the original wiring.
Yeah, that's probably all the original wiring from the factory. That battery, tell us about that. That thing is teeny tiny. It looks like literally like about the size of a cell phone or something there. What is that?
So that's just a small lithium battery. all that electronics I really have on the boat are the nav lights, which the white mooring light is battery operated.
Yeah.
Because I had to go battery because the wiring I couldn't deal with the pulling platform, obviously.
Sure.
But I mean, just trim tabs, electric start, which I still do have the pull start, which is a nice safety feature. And then the GPS.
That on these motors is that you're able to pull start it if you know, if the battery's dead or something like that. So just to reiterate, like for the 100th time, you really fish the crap out of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what I'm trying to this boat, a lot of people might say, well, I'll take this boat and fix it up and you know, which is great, but it's even greater, in my opinion, to fish it and to just go have fun with it, because that's really what it wants to do. It wants to fish.
I like to keep it clean, but I also don't mind putting some mangrove rash on it.
Yeah.
I like going there. Nothing beats those places where I know I'm the first one, and just that feeling of awe of like, no one's been back here, no one knows about this spot. It took me 45 minutes to crawl in a tree.
Sure.
I got bit alive, but who knows what's back here. There's, you know, some of my favorite days are you catch 20 10-inch snook that have never seen a boat or a human before, and that's a unique thing. Or and sometimes you stick a stud, and that's what gets me going, is that excitement of never knowing.
That's cool. And 2 people on the boat, it's very comfortable.
Very comfortable. 2's probably the ideal number. I think realistically, 1 to 2. This is a 1 to 2 person fishing boat. If you're going out, like sometimes I'll do other stuff, like if I'm spearfishing or something random. 3's fine.
This boat's been to the Skiff Shop twice. Twice. And did they do this platform?
They did.
And that was at the request of a customer, right? This didn't come from Hell's Bay.
Yeah, I had them do that. I stick by. I think,
you had them do it. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. I'm thinking
everything I've ever seen come out of that place is awesome.
Oh yeah, they were great to
Skiff
me.
Shop, yeah.
I mean,
so what year did they redo this one?
So they redid. I bought the boat 2 years ago, and the guy I bought it from, he had it all redone, new motor. If you look at the originals, the super wide pulling platform like comes out to both sides. You got to stick the push pull between it. So that would have been a nightmare for me. So he redid that, put the motor on, the grab bar, and then I picked it up, and the pulling platform was catching branches, so it put some spider cracks in the transom. So that's why I switched over to the removable. Also saves me time going places.
It looks freaking awesome. I mean, I love the look of that polling platform. That is totally cool.
And it's such I love this boat. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of it.
So what should a person expect to pay in today's market for if they find one of these in someone's backyard, or, you know, like just sitting around on Marketplace or whatever? Not one that's been all dolled up, but one that's been fished.
So I think realistic, the market has come down. Hell's Bay is about a 2-year waiting list as of now. The Eldora, all their skiffs have gone up exponentially in value and cost to make if you go through new, which the used market is showing that. They've come down a little bit. So I think right now for the 16s, you're seeing 30 to 35 for a good used one.
Or in the skiff world, they're kind of a collector type of thing. And, you know, people take care of them, and they, you know, which is great. But what's so unique about this boat is it's still running hard every day, and it's still surviving. I mean, I don't like to drag it across an oyster bed, but if I got to go places, I got to go.
Yeah. It's a tool. It's meant to go places, and it gets me there safely.
Thanks for showing us your boat, Morgan, and we really appreciate it. And I'm sure, you know, somebody might have questions, you know, and maybe the last question is, how dry is it? Like,
I think it comes down to sea state. It runs really dry. I've had in like a head shop or a stern shop, it gets a little more spray if I'm running tabs down really hard. So situational, if I'm running skinny, I'll have the tabs down, and it makes the bow plow. So that way I can run skinnier because it's not a tunnel. So then it's gonna be a little wetter of a ride. But if I'm going motor down and all out, I think some of the side shop, if it's windy too. But for me, it's a hard gauge because I'm running far. I'll go out on days that no one else, like 25 knots and 2-foot swell, I'll be out there. So, I mean.
So you don't need to put on a wetsuit.
No.
To drive it in a chop. That's just cool. All right, well, thanks. And we really appreciate it. And hopefully if anyone has any questions, they can leave a comment below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.